أشرقت بالذكر أنوار الحياة، وعلى الرونة فجر من سنا، لهدى القرآن في الرونة من بهجة الدنيا ربيع من ندى.
Allahu Akbar. Look at that. What does this mean? This is a direct comfort to those going through difficulty, to say that for as long as you are ready to surrender to what Allah has decided for you, look at the positives, get comfort from those better than you who have gone through much more than you. Inshallah, you will be on the right side. Take a look at those without legs, those without hands, those without eyes. These are big calamities and disasters. Take a look at the people of Turkey who went through a very, very serious earthquake not a long time ago. Take a look at anywhere across the globe. We mentioned Japan, where one of the most sophisticated populations of the world in terms of education and technology. What happened to them? They went through an earthquake. Only today was an announcement made that now the nuclear reactor is safe and so on and so forth. Only today the announcement was made. After 9 months, and yet it is one of the most developed countries in the world in terms of technology. They have advanced. These tests can come to us at any time. Are we ready for them? Wallahi, I want to take you through something else. Do you know Allah chooses tests for me and you? He has written them down. It's in my destiny and yours. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tests that are easy for us to pass. And may He never test us with that which is difficult. My beloved brothers and sisters, be happy with the test that Allah has chosen for you, because if He wanted, He could have tested you with something much worse than that. Much worse than that. What does this mean? If Allah were to tell you, right, I will put 100 tests in your life, choose them, what would you say? No matter what, we would still have to choose it. We still have to go through it. So if I choose 100 things in my life of whatever, how many ever years Allah has decided, say for example 70 years, and Allah has decided, okay, you will go through 100 tests. So you go through the first one, you say, not this one. The next one is more difficult. Then you say, no, not this one. The next one is even more difficult. When you start noticing the trend, you say, Ya Allah, just bring them one after the other. Once we are finished with 100, I will be over. Allahu Akbar. Why? Because you're seeing, if I don't want what Allah chose for me, I won't be able to choose. Because Allah is going to say, okay, your knees were paining, you didn't want that. What do you want to pain? You say, your arms. Well, that's even worse. Allahu Akbar. Then, okay, we took away, for example, one hand. So you didn't want that. What do you want us to take away? So you say, well, I think perhaps some of us would say, my hair. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us goodness. May He open our doors. The point I'm making is, no matter what, we have to go through tests. It's impossible for us to say, Ya Allah, I want to lead a life. I want to go to paradise. But here also I want whatever I ask for. And even there I want whatever I ask for. And Allah will say, hey, the most beloved unto me did not get what you are asking for. So what do you expect? Still, through Allah's mercy, look at us. We are seated here. We are enjoying very good weather, mashallah. We have electricity. We have seating arrangement facility. We have clothing. We have watches. The bulk of us have phones. And almost all of us have phones that are not more than 3 years old. Am I right? See everyone shaking, yes. And we're saying, Ya Allah, what, you haven't given me this. Why do we concentrate on negatives? Why? Look at the vehicles. I was informed that I think you're not allowed to import a vehicle more than 5 years old. Am I right? More than 2 years old. 2 years old. Allahu Akbar. So everyone's got nice new cars, mashallah. It's difficult. It's not easy. Some people can't afford. At least we have the trishaw or the rickshaw that we've seen all around, that we can jump on and continue. Some people, if you want to look at that as a calamity, it is because you've been spoiled with something higher. That is the norm of life for others. And it is a luxury for some to be in the trishaw. So we are spoiled. How many of us here who have motor vehicles and who drive are ready to jump into a trishaw to go to work tomorrow morning? How many? I see some brothers are nudging the others, mashallah. Yes, it's true. Because it's just a question. Imagine if your car broke down, electricity was gone, everything happened all at once, and the following morning you had to go to work with your clothes that are not ironed, your hair that is not done, you didn't have water, so you couldn't actually, and you have to jump onto a trishaw and pay the man how many ever rupees, a few rupees, and tell him, take me to my workplace. And he's dropping you off at this huge building, and he knows who you are, so he looks at you and he says, sorry sir, okay, I will try not to make bumps on the road. That's the maximum he can offer you. What more do you want? He might come and say, before you sit, let me dust this place nicely. He might not carry other passengers, but that's minor. For your information, some would consider that an honor and a privilege, and we consider it a calamity. Allahu Akbar. This is why they say, if you don't have shoes, look at those who don't have feet. Allahu Akbar. Look at those who are going through much more than you are, and Allah will open your doors. There is yet another way of solving the crisis. When you are in difficulty, go out and search for people in similar difficulty and help them. People go through divorce, and sadly the divorce rate has increased. Divorce is a calamity, very big calamity. The divorce rate has increased across the globe, and people divorce because of the click of a finger. Click, and next thing it's out. I always tell people, before you have a gun, you need to know what the trigger is all about. How can you own a gun and you don't know what that button is, what that trigger is? That is the most foolish thing ever. I don't think anyone here would have a gun without knowing what the trigger is about. So when you do nikah, when you get married, you need to know what talaq is all about. You need to know what divorce is all about, because a lot of people end up divorcing for small reasons. So you went through a little bit of difficulty. You could not bear patience. Yes, if it is great oppression, you have the right. We are not denying that. We don't want to trample on people's feet who are going through lots of oppression. Nor do we want to condone the oppression. Those who are oppressing their spouses, it's about time you stop. And I will tell you why in a few moments. But those who are, for any small thing, threatening, I'll divorce you, Wallahi, that's haram. It's like telling a person, I'll break your legs. What if someone told you, cut your throat? I'll cut your throat. Every little while they're telling you, I'll cut your throat. Whilst they are sleeping, we might even slit theirs. Allah protect us. Sorry, I didn't say that. Meaning, that's a threat that is very bad. Unacceptable. How can you continue doing that? Yet we are doing it to people. And people are just divorcing. Small thing, divorce. And a lot of the times it's because we think there is greener pasture out there. Someone, I think last year or sometime, someone sent me a text. And I recall it. It says, marriage, with all due respect to everyone here, marriage is like jumping into a hot bath. Marriage is like jumping into a hot bath. Once you are in it, you realize it's not that hot. Allahu Akbar. When I read that message, I phoned the brother. I said, what are you trying to say, brother? I understand the bath part of it, but you want to put it into your own marriage. Why are you doing that? Do you know you have a tap? You can turn it on every little while. MashaAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala open our doors. So what I am saying is, if you think that something is hotter outside, believe me, when you get there, it will not be as hot. So hold what you have. Coming from the most merciful, obviously from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the tongue of He who was sent as a mercy to mankind. And He is saying calamity is sent, and plagues and so on sent by Allah to punish those who deserve it. Wow. But the hadith doesn't stop there. It continues. Except the believers. Those who believe. Those who believe, it is not a punishment for them. It is a means of shaking off their sins, like I mentioned, like the leaves of a tree. And the means of gaining closeness to their Maker, to the degree that when Allah loves a believer, He inflicts them with more and more. You take more, you write a bigger exam. I've given you the example in the past and I repeat it again. You write your O-level, it's more difficult than the grade 7 exam. You write your A-level, it's more difficult. You go up to college and so on. You go up to varsity and what have you. It's much more difficult and longer papers, and possibly it will take you much longer. Then you prepare a thesis, and then you are questioned about it. There is a debate regarding your thesis, and thereafter you come out with a certain degree and qualification, one after the other. The same applies in our deen. The same applies in life. You have a test, then you have a bigger one, then you have another one, and so on. But for those who ask for trouble, they are the only ones to blame. Why do we say this? Like I said moments ago, oppression breeds calamity. When you oppress someone, you are asking for trouble. When you keep on telling your wife, I'll divorce you, I'll divorce you, you are asking Allah, punish me, punish me. Every time you threaten her, you're saying, punish me. When you swear your children, punish me, you are saying to Allah, punish me, test me, I'm ready for your calamity, come. That is how bold we are. When you want to commit adultery, you might enjoy for a while in terms of the dunya. It might be nice and spicy for a little while, you know, jumping from shower to shower because it's too hot. You see what happens? You are enjoying your shower. Come, my little son in the other room, he turns the tap on. So I jump out of here. Why? Literally jump. Who's making me jump? My own son. Why? He has opened the tap the other side. Unless you have more sophisticated geysers with a little bit of a pressure tank and everything, then you might be saved with that or from that. We end up jumping because something is going wrong. The same applies in our spiritual lives and our real lives. We end up jumping because we are doing something wrong. You have a beautiful tap, a lovely shower. You went to turn a tap on elsewhere, your shower became too hot for you to handle. You had to quickly jump out. And people don't understand. A person committing adultery is equivalent to one saying, Ya Allah, I know what you've said. I want to try my luck out. Come, test me and see who will be more powerful. Punish me. I want to see what happens. May Allah protect us.